Good day, welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be somewhat different to the videos that we've been making for the last few months and years, because this one we're going to get away from some of the stuff that we've been talking about. Stay with me because this is still going to be relevant, very relevant to the EV versus combustion car debate, but I'm just going to bring in a few other thoughts about this whole debate. Try and move a little bit away from just the news stories that we look at, and it's really something that I just literally thought about last night, and thought it would be a useful thing to make a video about. I don't know about you, but I'm getting a little bit tired of the same stories coming out about, you know, there's the EV side and there's the combustion side. And I don't think we're ever going to convince those on the EV side that EVs are not the next greatest thing since sliced bread. And I don't think the EV guys are going to convince us that that's the case. So what I wanted to talk about in this video was making a couple of analogies between the internal combustion engine versus EV debate, with a few things that have occurred to me and which I think are kind of very similar in the sense of how they how the two sides, if you like, square up to each other. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is mechanical watches, and I think that there's quite a lot of similarity between the whole EV versus petrol car debate and the digital electronic watch versus the mechanical watch. So you will no doubt have seen me wear, and a couple of people have said, why do you wear two watches? Well, I wear an Apple Watch, which is the one that I use for all the information that I need, like notifications, alarms, emails, you know, anything, paying, you know, with credit cards and whatever. The Apple Watch is clearly superior and does everything that I need it to do. But I wear that on my right wrist, and on my left wrist I wear a mechanical watch. You've probably seen my Tudor Pelagos, and I'll just show you this one as well. This was a fairly recent acquisition. I got it very discounted. A collector had purchased this literally only 2 months ago and had decided to liquidate his collection and buy something else. And I was able to get this very special mechanical watch for less than half price. And if we turn it over, you can see that it has a beautiful display case back, which shows the beautiful mechanism and the movement. So the question is, why do you wear a mechanical watch? Why do I need to wear a mechanical watch when the Apple Watch does everything I need it to do? It tells the time, it tells the date, it tells me the moon phase, and about a million other things which this mechanical watch just doesn't do. So what is the purpose of wearing a mechanical watch? It's that, I think, is at the heart of the whole EV versus ICE car debate. I think they're the same. I think the EV is a tool that does a job, and on the other side you've got the mechanical watch or the petrol combustion car, which is there because of an emotional need or desire or appreciation of the mechanical qualities and the emotions that stirs up, I guess. And so there's no logical reason why I need to wear a mechanical watch other than I absolutely love the craftsmanship that has gone into it, and it gives me a lot of pleasure to wear it. And I think it's exactly the same with cars. You know, an EV is a tool. It does the job. It gets you from A to B, but it doesn't stir the emotions. And that is the difference, I think. And there's another example here which I will talk about, and that is photography. As you can see, I've got some cameras lined up on the desk. This is the camera I use on a daily basis. This is a Nikon ZF. It still harks back to the mechanical era of film cameras with the dials and the appearance of like an old-fashioned film camera, if you like. And it does everything extremely well. It takes fantastic pictures. The lenses are amazing. You can do anything that you need to with an image. You can even take video with it, although I don't use it for video. So why do I still have these dinosaur relics? This Nikon F3 from 1980 and this Bronica ETRS from the mid-90s, I think, which are mechanical cameras, or the F3 has got an electronic shutter, but they are essentially analog film cameras. Now, there's nothing that these can do, really, that the ZF doesn't do 100 times better. So why are we still obsessed with film cameras? Why do we still like shooting analog cameras with film? It's not because of necessarily the quality. It's because of the experience you get with shooting a beautifully built film camera. The tactile experience, the quality of the pictures as well, you know, how they turn out from film has its own certain quality about it, which you can't really reproduce in digital, although objectively digital photos are far sharper, they've got more pixels, they've got more detail, but somehow they can lose that quality, well, it's indescribable quality, I guess, of film photos. You can always tell a film photo almost. You can look at an image on the page in a magazine or on a website, and you can see that it's a scan from an old-fashioned Kodachrome transparency, and digital files just have a different look. It's not necessarily better or worse, just different. And so I think, again, the film digital argument for cameras and why people are still shooting film, 20 plus years after digital cameras were introduced is a very good parallel to what I think the main arguments are about EVs versus internal combustion engine cars now. There is one big caveat to that, and that is that in both of these cases, with the digital watch versus the analog watch and the digital camera versus the film camera, you have got something better in the digital version. It actually improves your quality of life. It makes it easier to take pictures. It makes it easier to share them. It makes it easier to tell the time in 15 different countries. It makes it easier to do the things that you want to do on a digital watch. And with the same with digital cameras, they both have the same advantages over their analog counterparts. Now, I don't see the same advantages in an EV over an ICE car, because as we've talked about, they're far more expensive, there's more depreciation. We can go through the whole list of reasons why EVs are not an improvement in the majority of respects over internal combustion engine cars. Now, in the cases of film cameras and digital cameras and watches, for example, the digital versions are better. And yet people still want to use the analog versions or experience the analog versions, because despite them not being as good, they still prefer the experience. And the EV is going to struggle, because not only is the experience nowhere near the experience of a combustion car, but also it doesn't do the job better than a combustion car as of today. That may change, but you will never get the experience from an EV that you get from driving a combustion car. And so putting all the stats, the facts and figures the arguments for EVs one way or the other, or internal combustion engine cars or whatever, putting all that aside, there will always be a desire for people to drive internal combustion engine cars. Phasing them out in 2030 is madness. Yes, by all means introduce electric cars that will, become part of the energy mix. They will run in parallel. The obvious thing to do is to let them run alongside regular cars, and allow people to make that choice. If they want to buy an electric car, then go for it. Good for them. If they want to pay, twice as much in insurance, if they want to have that catastrophic depreciation, that's a decision that they can make. But many people will say, I don't want to do that. I prefer a combustion car, and I'm going to stick with that for the time being. That may change at some point, but it's not the decision I want to make today. So the idea that we can simply force everybody to switch to electric cars within the next decade it's never going to happen. Whether you think EVs are the next best thing since sliced bread or not, it is never going to happen. People will continue to want to drive combustion cars because that it may suit their needs better, or they may just enjoy it like I do. I enjoy driving a combustion car with a proper gearbox, and that's what I intend to do for the foreseeable future until EVs can make a case for me to switch, and that seems to be a very, very long way off at this stage. And so that's why there are so many people who are still avidly collecting and shooting with analog cameras, film cameras, and there are still people who spend tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars on mechanical watches simply because they love the mechanics, they love the engineering that has gone into these things, they love the way it makes them feel. They're not just a tool that does a job, they're something that creates that emotional connection. And quite frankly, we need a bit of pleasure in our lives right now, given what is going on in the world. We need escapes from the crushing political and other issues that are grinding everybody down. People like myself wear a mechanical watch because it gives me pleasure, and I take photographs with a mechanical camera for the same reason. If you are going to force everyone to abandon another thing that gives a lot of people a great deal of pleasure, and that is a proper petrol car, then you're going to annoy a hell of a lot of people. And I don't see that this transition to EVs by 2035 will ever happen. Anyway, that's just about it for this one. Very different video from my usual style. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you a fan of analog watches, mechanical watches? Are you a fan of film cameras? Let me know what you think of my comparisons here. As I say, I think they're very analogous to the EV ICE debate. And let me know what you think in the comments. All right, that's about it for this one. Thanks very much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Bye for now. If you'd like to support this channel and display your anti-EV credentials to your Tesla-owning neighbours at the same time, why not buy some awesome MGUY merchandise, like this mug, this baseball cap, or this t-shirt. Each high-quality item sports the MGUY No EVs sign, and they're all made to order, perfect for irritating the hell out of your local EV zealots. Visit store.mguy.tv or click the link in the description to check out the full range of products. And of course, you can always just buy me a coffee. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen. Thanks very much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any tips or stories, go there. If you'd like to watch another video, go there. If you'd like to buy me a coffee, go there. And please subscribe to this channel.